What's up, guys? Daily come out here, and I am back from earlier today with a couple farm decks and some farming tips for how to farm Declan Akaba and unlock the character as soon as possible. Now, I figured I should include some general farming tips and knowledge before I get into the decks because, there's some new people to come into the game. So essentially, this is your event character gate, and at first you're only going to have level 10 unlocked, but you want to keep dueling it at the highest level until you get to level 40. And if you do not have level 40 unlocked, just duel the highest level that is available to you. The reason for this is because if you duel him at level 40, you can see that a lot of these other like trash rewards are not a part of the card pool, right? There's only these specific cards which are unique to him that you can obtain. At level 30, 20, and 10, you can get all these generic cards that they give you for defeating standard duelists and other low-level legendary duelists. You don't want a chance to get those. If possible, you only want these cards because what you really want are Supreme King Kaiser and Savant Galilei, the event-specific cards. And if you're a newer player, you want some of these as well because you might not have them. Okay, so you duel level 40 at ×1 because you want to get the most out of your event tokens, the action cards, and you want to duel him on level 40 as many times as possible. You get those by defeating standard duelists, defeating the Vagabond, and ranked duels. And basically what we're going to do is with the farm decks, we're going to get 8,000 duelist assessment at the end of the duel, which means we will get the maximum amount of rewards from beating him at level 40. So I'm going to show you two of the decks that I use to do that. Another quick farming tip for you guys: if you have any of these crystals, just know the best time for you to use these crystals is when there is a very desirable character that is around, available via an event, or there is a character in the game that you want to farm a lot, right? So, for example, Declan Akaba, if this is a character that you really want his character drops, you're always going to want to make sure that you're winning every duel, and the best time to use these is when there's a character that you want to win against 100% of the time and always have the best chance to get your rewards. So there's no use in saving them. This is the best time to use them. Or if there is a character in the game which you want to farm very efficiently, for example, like Zuzu Boyle or Sawatari to farm for their decks, because you need to farm them a lot. You can also, another good time to use them is to farm guys like Declan Akaba here. So always use results boosters, extra life and extra card. If you end up bricking in your farm decks, extra life and extra card will save you in most situations. And a result booster is good for if you ever miss one of your conditions to get you the max amount of duel assessment. The first one is a modified Yubel Deck. These are both decks I'm going to show you are from the Duel Links Meta Discord. Some smart guys in there figured it out pretty early. So this Yubel Deck is it's basically the same as any other Yubel deck, except that it includes Sacred Phoenix Amnethys. Now, if you don't know how a Yubel deck works, essentially you use either Disciple Amnethys or Fire King Avatar Yaksha to destroy a Yubel in your hand, and then that Yubel will summon a Yubel Terror Incarnate from the deck, and then that will destroy all monsters on the field every single turn, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. And so that stays on the field and keeps destroying everything. And then you want to use another one of your Disciple of Nethys or your Fire King Yaksha to destroy a Sacred Phoenix of Nethys in your hand. The reason that you want to use this and why this is different from other Yubel decks is because you want to be destroying Declan Akaba's Pendulum Scales and his continuous spells and traps every single turn. You don't want him to burn himself out. You don't want him to bring out this crazy DDD pendulum that can banish your Yubel monsters. So you keep wiping the monsters and spells and traps every single turn, every single end phase and standby phase, until you have a handful of high-level Yubel monsters, the Ultimate Nightmare and Yubel themselves, and Montage Dragon. In your final turn, you will summon your Montage Dragon by discarding all your Yubel copies and then using Shien Spy to give it to your opponent. Then you will use Exile of the Wicked to destroy your Yubel Terror Incarnate and summon your Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare from the graveyard, and then you will attack your Yubel Ultimate Nightmare into the Montage Dragon with 10,000 attack points that you just gave your opponent, and then that will cause you to deal them 10,000 effect damage and win the duel and get 8,000 duel assessment. Very simple. Let's see it done in a duel. Okay, checking out my Yubel replay first. Some things to know are that the first thing you want to do is destroy a Yubel in your hand. Now I have to get a Witch of the Black Forest destroyed in order to search Yubel, and then I plan on destroying it using the Disciple of Nephthys in my hand. I'm going to fast forward to the point in which I do that, search the Yubel. By the way, if you have Yubel as your character, you have a skill name, my name is Yubel, it lets you swap any Yubel form that you draw instead of Yubel and swap it for a regular one. This helps you not break, it helps you draw Yubel. Of course, you don't need the skill, but it just raises the success rate if you do have it. So I'm going to search my Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys via my Disciple of Nephthys effect for destroying a card in my hand, so it's already in my hand. Then I destroy a Sun-Gun to get another Disciple of Nephthys. Then I just destroy a different card in my hand with my Defender of Nephthys to summon the Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. And now you can see every turn I am destroying his monsters at the end of my turn, and during my standby phase I am wiping all of his back row. So it makes it so his monsters don't hit me. He can't reliably take damage every turn. Okay, so he does burn himself by his own pendulum effects and his continuous spells. So you don't want that to happen. And you just don't want to attack him. And this is a pretty long farm actually, but we're going to get to the end of it just by fast forward. I'm going to show you the final turn in just a moment here. It's getting pretty long. Of course, you have to have 3 high-level monsters, Montage Dragon, and your 2 spell cards in your hand in order to end the duel. So for me, this duel, they were at the bottom of my deck, so I had to wait until the final turn to finish this farm up. So we'll be done here in just a minute. So you can see I've drawn my Shen's Fire, so I have to wait until next turn. And okay, so here I have drawn both of my cards, so I'm going to start off my standby phase. Summons the Nephthys, so I'm going to summon Montage Dragon to my field, then give it over to my opponent using Shen's Spine. You can see my Montage Dragon has 10,000 attack because I sent 2 Yubel the Ultimate Nightmares and a Yubel to the grave. Now I'm going to give it to my opponent, then I'm going to activate Exile of the Wicked to destroy my Yubel Terror Incarnate, and then Illusive Effect will proc and summon the Ultimate Nightmare from my graveyard that I just sent with the Montage Dragon. I will attack into the Montage Dragon, and boom, deal him 10,000 effect damage. So that is the optimal way to do Yubel, even though it took until the last turn. Of course, you saw me use cards like Sangan and the Witch of the Black Forest, but you can use just free-to-play draw engines and stuff like Crystal Seer. Those are just the most efficient to search copies of Yubel in the duel. So yeah. Alright guys, so this is my next farm deck to show you, also from the Duel Experiment Discord. And this one, I personally do not like the Magician Girl farm deck, but it does work here. I do believe you have to play this a little different. Usually you have to really stall out because Declan Akaba is able to summon multiple high attack point monsters per turn. So you're actually unable to properly protect yourself with just one Chocolate Magician Girl. So it's honestly best to stall out on your low attack point monsters until you are able to summon 2 Chocolate Magician Girls in one turn and have them survive and be on the field in your main phase. Then what you want to do is you want to have enough spellcaster monsters in your graveyard in order to use Magicalized Fusion to summon Quintet Magician. Now, you can banish them, especially one fusion monster, by banishing fusion materials from your field or graveyard. You basically want to send spellcaster monsters with different names to the graveyard by the effect of Chocolate Magician Girl and getting them to your hand with Berry Magician Girl. So that's why we run all these different spellcasters, because you want to get them in the grave. You also use Wonder Wand to summon them, and then you send them to the grave to draw 2 cards. So this whole deck is centered around you drawing cards that get Magicians in the graveyard for Magicalized Fusion. Once you have your Quintet Magician on the field, you can use your 2 Chocolate Magician Girls that you have on the field for one of these Xyz monsters that will remove a monster on your opponent's field. Either just attack over it, or do something to it. Diamond Direwolf and Malevolent Sin will, you know, get rid of it, and these guys can't attack. You know, they can do their thing. They're just Xyz monsters that you can summon, and then you want to use Concentrating Current or Wonder Wand, whatever combination of the two cards that you have to use to get your Quintet Magician to 10,000 attack points, and then you will deal 10,000 points of direct battle damage to your opponent. This one is a lot less consistent than the Yubel one because you have to do it fast and you have to stall efficiently so that you don't get killed and that your Chocolate Magician girls do not get destroyed. You're able to just, you know, summon Quintet and go for a lot of damage and not get 8,000 duelist assessment. You can get like 6,000, 7,000. But, you know, if you want to go for the maximum 8,000, you want to deal 10,000 battle damage every single time. So I have a replay of that as well. Let's check it out. Okay, guys, and this is my Magician Girl farm deck. Now, this is by no means a clean farm. I just got by the hairs of my chinny chin here, dude. I barely survived. Essentially, you want to optimally start with Barry Magician Girl so that you can switch into the event Searcher Magician Girl, and then after that, you know, you send it to the graveyard and you can make use of your different spellcaster monsters and your spellcaster searcher cards very efficiently. I did not. I special summoned my Barry Magician Girl incorrectly, so I didn't get to take advantage of it, so it got destroyed. So I do end up playing catch up here. I almost lost the duel on several occasions, but drawing Fortune Fairy Chi kind of got me back in the game, got me a couple more draws. And this game, I do end up winning without summoning an Xyz monster. So that's not always going to be the case, but sometimes it will be. I use my Quintet Magician's effect to destroy every monster on every card on the field, and then followed up with a double Concentrating Current. That is a valid way to win. Of course, if you're unable to do that, or even after you destroy everything and there's still cards in the field, you can then summon an Xyz monster beside your Quintet. And if you have Wonder Wand and the Concentrating Current, it's actually still not enough, right? Because it's attack and defense, so you actually do need double Concentrating Current to get over 10,000. So you will see that I do that here. Double Concentrating Current gets me to like 13,000. Boom, hit him in the face and he loses. I don't like the Magician Girl farm, but hey, there you go. It worked. If you want to use it, it's a little bit less consistent than Yubel, but it works. See you guys later when we unlock Declan Akaba for real. Peace out.